Hello and welcome to Hey, We Like Your Pod, and we're going to tell you why. Hi, it's Dawn here doing all of my parts and Matt's parts because I'm here this week with my special co-host Miranda. How you doing,
Hello,
Miranda?
good. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's Saturday. It's wonderful. Football is tomorrow. I've been kind of getting into the World Series a bit.
Yeah.
Have you
You're
noticed?
close to LA, aren't you?
But we have the Padres here, and I'm from Wisconsin, and so my family loves the Brewers, so I back the Brewers. I was very upset about how that turned out. They didn't even win one game in the playoffs. I didn't understand it, but
I didn't get it either. I'm not even a big baseball person, but same like you. Like all my extended family are in Wisconsin, so they're massive Brewers. So I was like, "Ooh, I'm going to watch this year." And I was like, am I a bad luck charm? Because they scored like one run every game. Like it was awful.
It was kind of weird. I didn't understand it. I know they have a lot of injuries, and you don't see injuries as much in baseball.
Very true.
I was annoyed though because I have this friend. She's one of the reasons I'm into the Packers, even though I grew up in Wisconsin. I really didn't like football at all. And I still question why, because of the violence. I'm kind of an anti-violent person. So so that bothers me. I'm still like, anyway, but I love her dearly. I've referred to her on this show before. Her name is Bonnie, and she loves the Packers. She's from Connecticut, but she loves the Packers, but she's been out here like me more than half her life. So, but in any case, she also loves the Dodgers. And over the years, people have been like, don't talk sports to Bonnie because she's going to drive you crazy. And I'm like, I've always enjoyed it, but I've always enjoyed it because we back the same team. I never know. I didn't think she was obnoxious. I didn't know. Anyway, so I texted her, oh, well, we're not going to talk about baseball after the World Series because my family's from, and she knows this, and my family really loves the Brewers, my brother and sister particularly, two of them. And I don't, and she said something, and I was like, I blocked her. I'm like,
I love it.
She's blocked until after the World Series.
I think that's fair.
And so she kind of made me like the Dodgers less because of it. Do you know what I'm saying?
I totally get that. And that's a shame when that happens. But I had somebody, I've never been a fan of the Eagles because I've heard, speaking of violence, I've heard their fan base is just like bad. But there was somebody that I used to be acquainted with years ago, and she just posted the most nasty stuff all the time about the Eagles and against like opposing teams. And I was like, what are we doing here? It's a sport. Like you can have fun without being like nasty. And so I was like, well, I was already kind of done with them. And no, not a fan.
Sorry. Yeah, it's kind of a turn off. And
it is.
To me, I like, because I haven't liked sports most of my life. It's only been the last decade or so.
That's cool.
And then I really got into it with COVID, So I like the sport, right? And so I can like players on any given team. And I can even like teams. There are certain teams I won't like because they've got or coaches that have a history of cheating or whatever. Those people I will like blackball. It's like, nah. But I won't like actively be rude or get on somebody else's feed and say, hi, everyone. It's like, that's I'm not into that stuff. So I have noticed it. It seems like the Lions fans, and I try to give the Lions fans grace because they don't know what it's like to win.
That is true.
That you can be gracious. You don't have to be an idiot. But And they still don't, even though they're doing much better, they're still not, they didn't make it to the Super Bowl yet. So I'm going to just,
That's
let
okay.
that go there. I'm going to keep going on the Lions because I've mentioned that a few times. But anyway, so I am actively rooting for the Blue Jays. I love Toronto. It's a beautiful city.
I want to go so bad. It looks gorgeous.
Oh, the museums, the fair, like it's just a great, great city. Yeah. Montreal too, but yeah. So I've been watching the game, all the games, and then I found a YouTuber who's like live streaming the game and doing his commentary from Toronto.
Oh, that's cool.
He's so fun, and he's got the super strong Canadian accent.
Oh, that's so cool.
Like when he says, like we say, "Go, Pat, go."
Yeah.
He's like, "Go."
Oh, I love it.
It's so cute. I just
that's so cute.
And
does he go the whole game?
Yeah, he does the whole game.
Wow.
I should probably share that if anybody, but I watch the game and then I like spout off on Blue Sky. There's like 22 people that
That's
care.
me, Packer games.
Yeah, I'm like, what was that?
Like,
did you see that weird play last night where the Dodger, I think it was Vlad who hit, and the ball almost was a home run, but then it ended up in the seam under the wall?
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Okay, so it didn't get stuck. It just landed there. And then the Dodgers player, I guess this is legal, instead of bending over and picking up the ball, because it wasn't like wedged for good. It was just like, pick the ball. I mean, it could have been on okay. So it's not like he tried and he couldn't get it out. That's one thing. But he didn't even try. And he puts his hands up because that's like the signal. And they would have had 2 or 3 more runs in with that. And they called it all back.
Oh, so he just had to restart. He just had to re-hit or something?
I think he re-hit. I can't remember.
That seems wrong.
I think he went on base. Like he got one, I don't know, whatever it was, and then the next guy struck it. It was just like, okay, that's a little cheaty. I didn't like that.
It does kind of seem a little
but it's legal. It's legal, but everybody was like, "Oh, good for him putting his hands up right away." And it's like, no, good for him if he would have been
like he didn't try. Yeah,
just try and bend over and pick it up, and then put your hands. Yeah. So I don't know. I didn't like that. So it even makes me hate the Dodgers more.
I mean, that's fair.
Because the Toronto was like ready to score and either tie it up or do a walk-off.
What was the final score last night?
Like 3-1.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But yeah.
All right. So tonight's game 7, right?
Yeah, there were some coaching mistakes on Toronto's part. So this is it tonight. That's fun. Tonight.
I might have to try to watch it.
I know. So yeah.
I love that.
Well, hey, so I'm really excited to hear what you have brought for superlatives this week. And I have some notes here. What did I say here? I can't find my notes. I did want to mention one other thing. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Last Sunday's game. Hey.
Yeah.
So I just want to mention, okay, so I was like weirdly calm in the first half. When they went out for halftime, I was like super confident. I even texted my like people. I'm like, no, I'm confident. I'm calm. I know. I just didn't have any doubt that the Packers were going to come back. And it's not like they're known for halftime adjustments or anything like that. But I just felt so weirdly calm that this is that they would come out and take the game. And I was wondering, why was I so confident? And I think most people know what the Packers are capable of, but we also know that they're capable of just blowing it. So I started thinking about that and why, even though we won and it was such a kind of historic win in a way,
absolutely.
why were so many fans still mad? Like, why are they so mad?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what I dug into this week. It's a little esoteric and it took me down some different paths, but it's just not my typical superlative, like, oh, I heard this and that. I actually kind of got into it a little bit. So I'm excited.
think that's great. And the weird, what's the word? What's that movie? The serendipitous part of this is that I didn't know this was going to be like your theme exactly. And
Oh,
I don't have all of the time in the world these days to like listen
sure.
to podcasts and do all this stuff, but somehow this week, the stuff that I read, the analysis that I watched, and some of the podcasts that I got to peek into, they all like spoke about halftime adjustments.
Oh,
So I was like,
good.
oh my God. Like when I looked at like the preview of the script, I'm like, this is crazy. Like,
I love that. I
yeah,
love it. Yeah, that's why I like our show the way Matt and I kind of designed this is because it kind of turns out this way. And I this is going to be great. This is going to be great.
it will.
All right. It's time for this week's superlatives. Well, now that I know what you are, where you're heading, I would like you to start with your first superlative, and then we'll kind of maybe we'll volley. I'm not sure how this is going to
That's
work out.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're on my notes on my phone.
Okay.
So let me pop them up.
Yeah.
Let's start with right at the top. If I can get my life together. Here we go. So I'll just start with best podcast. I actually got to watch. I know he pops on to like Andy's podcast a lot, Andy Herman's. But Mike Wall has his podcast. It's called The Block Party, and I actually got to watch a good chunk of it this week. And sure enough, talked about like halftime adjustments. And it was great.
I love that. Did you pick up like any one thing from it, or just in general overall? It was just enlightening.
The crazy the part that, as a fan and somebody who has never played football in any capacity, we kind of assume that it's like a big deal, at least for me. Like I've always thought like they go in there and they like have a whiteboard out and they do all this adjusting, but really he's like, you don't have a lot of time.
Right.
When you really break it down, the players have to go to the bathroom. They might shove a snack down their throat.
Mm-hmm.
What I found most interesting is he said that the coaches will adjust at halftime and they might not even tell the players. They're making the adjustments based on what they saw. It's not like hey, we're going to sit down and redraw the game plan so everyone is aware. The players just kind of go out there and obviously roll with the schemes and the calls. And so I thought that was interesting. I was like, I guess I never really thought about how time constraint.
Right.
So,
it's really not much time. Right.
So it kind of not burst my bubble, but I was like, wow, I kind of feel stupid that I just assumed it was some big like class in the middle of, the game that they had. But it's not.
No, I think that's pretty common conception. And that's why I think that there's all this outrage. And I think I want to be a better fan, and I don't want to be, even though I might think it, I'm not going to be out there. So I just felt like there was like a lot of faux fan, what I call faux fan outrage, or fan faux outrage. Maybe would be better. Why didn't we do that in the first half? There better be halftime adjustments. Why don't we just throw everything to Kraft? Why isn't Golden getting more action?
But they wouldn't pick up on that, right?
Yeah, why can't we run everything through Josh Jacobs? And I call them another fan hits. So it's like, well, those are pretty obvious. If we did all the time throw to Kraft or run with Jacobs,
exactly.
I think maybe the opposition might know and they might plan for it. So maybe that's not a great idea. But it's natural. It's kind of like these knee-jerk reactions. So
I know.
Yeah, but so that's kind of what I got into, and I tried to do some research, and I kind of failed, but I'm going to share what I found out anyway, because it's interesting. There's a good reason we fail, because this stuff is kept close to the vest.
That's true.
Right, right. So I just want to say that there was an article. Most of the things that I found were like 1 or 2 seasons old, so there's nothing current. It really got me thinking, and I'll explain later what that is. But NFL.com has an article called "Producing a Game Plan Takes into Account Months of Work." And so in some of my research, not particularly that article, but that just the title alone was like, I got to read that. But it's like the game plans are done before the season even starts.
Which is why.
Right. And then they adjust, once the schedule's released, all
Sure.
that.
Yeah.
But even though they don't even need the schedule released because they know who they're going to play. They just don't know when.
True.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and then I started thinking about this world of artificial intelligence and analytics that we live in. Right. And I don't think there are any rules about teams getting real-time analytics going and that kind of thing. So everybody's got these earpieces in and they're getting downloaded all kinds of information.
Yeah.
Because they're watching what's going on in the field, and the players themselves, especially the defense, the offense going out there testing the opponent's defense to see what they're going to do. That then affects, okay, that's what our next play is going to be because they're doing this kind of look. So there's so much more strategy, to football than back in the day, just like guys just going out there. And there's just so much strategy, and it's probably, I bet each team has like secret rooms where all these analytics are done and all the planning. Yeah. I'm sure it's like, we're not hearing about any of that. We're not even hearing that there's a room, right? Like, so there has to be a lot more to it.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was great. So I went down and I tried to look some articles up. I tried and I tried. I put time into this and I didn't find much, but I'm going to this is like going to be my lifetime mission now. I swear. This is really interesting to me. Yahoo Sports had an article called NFL Trends and Lessons to Take from the First Half. I think that was from last season. What we're doing, what teams are doing first half versus second half. I think that one of the things that really, as much as I hate to give any credit to the Chiefs because I cannot stand
they're been in my head because when you talk second half adjustments, it's like
right. It's like you watch their games and it's like, oh, and then they come back and win them all. It's like, what is happening here? And why are they playing? Like, are they so cocky that they can throw away the first half?
So I really think that's part of it. But it works.
Right. And sometimes and that's actually what we looked like playing the Steelers. Not that we look like the Chiefs, but it's like
kind of that same style where the first half was not pretty. I would say. But then the second half, it was like Jekyll and Hyde. What you want to see, of course, you don't want to not see the adjustments, but you're like, where was that team? And there's that like outrage. Like I sit there at the TV, I'm like, who the hell are these guys? But I guess LaFleur and all of his guys are just adjusting well.
They have all kinds of alternative plans, plan A, plan B.
Exactly.
It's all like it's written down on their cards, but it's also like in their ears. And the players too. That's why most of the players' time now is spent in meetings, not on the field.
Yep.
That's what they're doing. I shouldn't say that's why. The reason that is because they don't want injuries. But that's a whole other conversation. But so I really and then I found another article. I didn't really, because we have all these different plays. So then I'm like looking at Dusty's stuff and I'm looking at John Gruden's stuff. It's like he's talking about spies and this kind of thing.
Yeah.
So there was another article, Summer Sports, the Many Variations of Cover One. And so then it's like you can go down that kind of like rabbit hole. I think I'm going to talk to Dusty about this. He's going to be on our show soon. And I might actually ask him, could you please just put together like plays where you can see the spying and what happened next. I think he does that. He does incorporate that in, but just like to have a show, a program that just like can inform us a little bit more, because I think we'll appreciate the game more, and maybe some fans will pick up on that and not be like, why didn't you do this? Like they know better. Sometimes it seems obvious, but I don't know. I there was a couple podcasts too from Keith Grabowski's podcast, coach and coordinator, and then NFL First Read with Whitefield and Joe Marino. But a lot of those are basics. I love John Gruden's YouTube channel. Have you ever seen it?
I don't think I've ever seen. I mean, he's a character, and I can imagine he's got a lot of insight.
Oh my gosh, he goes into such detail, and he has the board up.
Ah,
It's detailed for every game.
good.
Breaks it down, and
That's
yeah,
cool.
he's pretty wild. His energy is just crazy.
Oh my gosh, he's wild. Yeah.
So anyway, so that's part of what I have. I'm going to let you do your next superlative, because I think this is really informative and interesting. And then and I guess the reason I did it is because I loved that content, confident feeling I had. I didn't know why I had it, because Packers aren't really known for this necessarily. But for some reason I'm a very intuitive person, and I was just like, no, there is no way that they're going to like go down against the Steelers this way. There's no way. It's not going to happen. I'm good. I'm happy. Yep. So what do you have next?
All right. Actually, funny you brought him up, because Dusty is he was my next.
Yeah.
And kind of going towards, so he was on Mason Crosby's radio show. And he does. And I saw him post, and it was just one of those moments. It was once again serendipitous. I happened to have 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Nothing to do. I was taking a break from work, and I'm looking at my phone, and he's like, I'll be on Mason's, radio show in a little bit. And I was like, perfect. Yes. And they just kind of, he did what he does best, and he can just kind of, I don't want to say dumb it down, but kind of dumbed it down, just his overall takeaways from the game, from the Steelers game. Yeah. And it was nice, because it's kind of where my head was at. Yeah. He's like, we're starting to see some inconsistencies, and some of that defensive line, like the front big guys, you're starting to see some holes kind of in there a little bit, something that we didn't really see the first few weeks. And so it made me feel better, because I'm like, I had been going, okay, we do look a little off here and there. And the consistency thing is, of course,
right,
concerning to some degree, but there's a lot of parity this year in general in the NFL.
Yes.
So yes. That makes me feel better too, when I think about, because even the Bills look, like a little up and down. So I'm like, we have a down half. It's not the end of the world.
Right. As long as we win.
Exactly. That's true.
I will just never understand a fan that's mad because after a win. I can see questioning things for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Exactly. So it was good. I had actually never listened to Mason Crosby's show, and that was good. So that was a nice little peek into a different, podcast, or I guess not podcast, but radio show, whatever.
Right. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I've listened to it only a few times recently. Yeah. Same
awesome.
Thing.
Yeah.
On the same plane today. That's crazy.
I know, exactly.
All right. And by the way, I called my superlative best spy games. So so I just, from what I could research, I put together a little couple paragraphs here. So I'm just going to read it.
Perfect.
Because I did this like a week ago. So from what I could gather, teams often hold back plays early in a game for strategic reasons, obviously. This includes testing defensive reactions, setting up later plays, and managing game tempo. So the first half in the first quarter for sure is about that. So that makes sense that it would look different than this, just the later quarters. We mostly hear about this strategy with Shanahan and Reed, who use early scripted plays or motions to gather information about their opponents. This is why I'm like, oh, this is neat. I always wanted to be a spy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But most, if not all, coaches do some form of reconnaissance in the early parts of any given game. Of course, it's not just those two coaches, right?
Sure.
I used to wonder how the heck the Chiefs, like I said earlier, could be losing at the half and then come out and look like a new team. And guess what? It's by design. The data or intelligence collection phase in the first half of a game is where the offense and the quarterbacks act as detectives.
How fun.
I know. So they're gathering information on coverage, how the defense reacts to motioning, pressure when they blitz, matchups, who's struggling in space, in substitutions, and how they handle tempo. And this information is relayed to the sideline in the booth. It's crazy.
That is.
You don't think of football players as detectives, but okay.
Right. Yeah.
And then upstairs in the booth, coaches are logging in information in real time. And we've seen that. It's like, what are they doing? Like, what are they doing? They seem so busy.
Ashley looks like you can just see his wheels turning.
Oh,
when they like flash to him.
I know. And all
I love it. I get so jacked up when they show him.
Oh, I know. It's great. Halfly cam. So, so they're logging information in real time, including data collection, formation, coverages, and personnel. Then they're communicating to the sideline via the tablets. Yeah, and then that's when they're building the halftime plan, not when they're going out peeing and getting a snack.
Right.
Okay. So they can call for, they can even call for in-game adjustments such as bootlegs and screens against overplaying outside zones, or faking motions when the nickel bites. So defensive coordinators hold back pressures or stunts for key moments. It's not going to happen every play, people. Calm down. Like that would take up too much energy. Anyway, coaches who are recognized for this kind of strategy are Belichick for information processing. I'm glad he's gone. I hope he doesn't come back. Reed for sequencing, and Shanahan for the run to pass layering. So that's kind of interesting to see those coaching styles.
This is Kyle Shanahan.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Because I got a lot of old coachy stuff and I'm like, no. Let's look for just stuff.
The current. Yeah.
Although Belichick is gone and threatening to come back, but
he is not putting some good tape out there in the college.
No. But again, it's not just those three. All coaches are using this kind of strategic processing. So what fans perceive as adjustments are often pre-planned strategies. So sure, they're an adjustment, but it wasn't like they just thought of it on the spot. This is all like plan A,
exactly,
information tree. Yeah. So early basic plays are designed to set up more impactful plays later. So again, that's why we see things going better in the later half. And it's not like, and fans are like, well, they finally figured it out. It's like, no. So I just feel calmer when I look at the game this way. I feel happier. And like I said, I don't know. I just intuitively was content that this was going to happen, but I didn't know why. And that's why I was like, I got to look this up. I got to look this stuff up. So early basic plays are designed to set up more. Oh, sorry, I read that. Okay. And then, so the impactful plays later, because they're then conditioning the defense. So they're like tricking them.
True.
Yeah. By showing one look and then punishing them with a different play. So examples of this include an inside zone early to set up a play action glance route, which Dusty talks about in his most recent film study.
Love it.
Examples also include a slant flat to fake a slant and then get on a wheel route. So analysis like Orlovsky, gets into layered play calling.
He's really good at down too.
Yep. So follow Dan Orlovsky for that. Greg Cosell for sequencing and concept setup. And Brian Baldinger for film breakdowns. Well, I say Dusty. Just look at the.
I know exactly. We got our own Packers insider.
Yeah, he's so good. So anyway, and I just like I said earlier, lots of analytics, which no one really talks that much about, and likely AI, in my opinion. And loads of mock-ups and run-throughs would have taken place months, weeks, and more pointed looks the week prior in game prep. So these things are not like just, they figured it out, or why didn't they figure it out? Yeah.
Or like, are they like, why aren't they, like you said, why aren't we just throwing to Kraft every time? Or why don't we just like run 24/7 with Jacobs? It's like, well, they're obviously going to figure.
Yeah. The other teams are doing this too. Yeah. The other teams are, it's like so high level. So
exactly.
Yeah. So that's kind of, there are some I think I have about 5 suggestions of anybody who wants to like look into this more deeply.
I love that.
Yeah. So what else do you have? What's your next one?
All right. So my last superlative, and this is really cool. This was my latest. This was, I think, either yesterday or the day before. I hadn't been reading as many articles because I'm busy writing them sometimes,
Yes.
but I logged on to Cheesehead TV because I was like, I haven't read any articles on here for a while. Obviously, one of the classics.
Yeah.
And there was a writer named Ken Lass who had a
Okay.
really interesting. He has like it's called like the last word, I think it's called.
Oh,
And
okay.
he does these, it's cute. And then so he had one called Hitches and Sticks, and it was all about our offense. So when you watch when you're watching our offense kind of get into, he talked, it was so cool how he worded it. It was very poetic almost. He was like, sometimes our offense gets into such a rhythm, you could almost like dance to it. Like you
Wow.
just know, like when Jordan Love, he steps back and he gets rid of the ball, you just know it's going to be a completion. You have that contentness, that you were talking about. But he's
Mm-hmm.
like, then there are times when he drops back and he's scrambling around and he said, I say out loud every time, like, this is going to be bad.
Yeah.
And it was just talking about like our psyche, that it actually kind of makes sense that when we're seeing these things and when these plays take so long to develop, that oftentimes stuff is just breaking down, and we have
Right.
a right to be like, oh God, this is bad.
You
But
can
when he's
feel
like,
it. Yeah.
boom, you can just feel it when we get into those
Ooh.
rhythms. It was really
Yeah.
cool. And it
Yeah.
made me feel a little less crazy.
Right.
So I was like, awesome, thank you, Ken. But it was a really nice article. It wasn't like too long, it wasn't too in depth, but it gave enough, and it, I think, kind of is an inclusive article for all fans who watch the Packers. So
Oh,
it was
I like that. I like that. There was a really cute short that I shared with Matt. I don't have it up right now, but it was Jordan Love. It started out with him like singing the lyrics to this song.
oh
Do
my
you remember this? It was really cute. And then it just, the song went on and it was just some of his plays after plays after plays
god.
to the
Ooh.
rhythm of the song. And I'm like, so it kind of reminds me of that article
Yeah.
in a way. Yeah.
Yes. The rhythm. Yeah, it's really cool.
And maybe that, because I am like a super intuitive person. And so
Mhm.
maybe even though, because I've watched enough games and I always say I don't know
Yeah.
anything about football. I know nothing about I really feel like I don't. I just feel it. Like I feel like I pick up things. But anyway, and maybe that's what I was picking up on in
Yes.
the Steelers game because I was so calm.
Yeah.
I'm like, why am I so calm? Everyone's around me is like, what's going on? And I was like, oh, we're fine.
We're
But
good.
that's the first time I felt that way. And
Yeah.
believe it or not, like now that you mention it, Jordan didn't have any of those weirdo, panicky, like weird.
No. No,
Yeah.
the erratic, like kind of Caleb Williamsy, where he just looks like
Yeah.
he's having like a seizure on the field, and you're like, oh my God. Well, I'm not a fan of yours, but I do want him to like succeed to some degree. I don't want the Bears to succeed, but like I think he's a good kid. And sometimes I'm like, oh, this is so like tough to
I
watch.
know. I know it is.
Right? Like
It really
I agree. Like we didn't I think week to week, I mean, Jordan had an absolute just he balled out last week.
yeah.
But I think he's really finding that he's Toyota-thon Jordan. Isn't that starting like
Oh,
any
yeah.
day now?
I hope so. I hope so. I want that win against on Thanksgiving Day so badly.
Yes.
Oh
Me
man. But
too.
1 week at a time, 1-0, like Matt LaFleur says. So yeah.
Yes, 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 yes.
I love that. Well, I will say that I will wrap up our superlatives by just saying that I'm not going to lie, partly because of my searching and my search terms, and I was really trying not to do this, but because of my search terms, my topic this week took me down another rabbit hole, and I didn't really want to go on.
You
But
know?
I have a short here, but I forgot to cue it up, so I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to do that. But I'll describe what it was, and it
Okay.
was it was somebody who wrote a book about actual spying, illegal spying in the NFL.
Mm,
So then I was like, oh, taking all that content in.
cool.
But here's a fun fact because this one's close to home. When not the World Series, when the Super Bowl was in San Diego here in 1998, it was the Packers against was it the
I
Broncos?
think so. I was thinking that because that was kind of when I really first started getting into football.
forgot the name of the coach now. I'm such a dork. But anyway, that coach was so worried about practicing in San Diego about spies from the Packers. And they had this field to practice on that had like a hill. I think it was in Point Loma. I can't remember where it was, but it had like a hill. And he's like, I don't like that hill because the people can be up on that hill looking at us, and the Packers are going to have spies. And this was a coach, and I have to look this up now, but this coach was known for kind of spying. So it's like, those are the people who are going to be the most.
I was going to say, is he just like admitting what he does?
I think he was fined for it.
Projecting, yeah.
Yeah. So any case, guess what he did? He hired Navy SEALs who train here in Coronado Island.
What?
Right. He hired a team of Navy SEALs to protect that hill, to keep, yes.
Oh gosh.
I was like,
really extra. And
one time during practice, a helicopter flew over. Well, we have a lot of flights here. We have Navy, Marines, and he literally went bananas. And the author of this book said, we actually thought he was going to expect the Navy SEALs to shoot that helicopter out of the sky.
Okay, I almost made a sniper joke before when you talked about the hill, but it sounds like he was like on that.
Oh my gosh.
That's insane.
It was, so these coaches, there is, and anyway, I got on another interview, and I don't know if that's in my superlatives, but it was another interview. If anybody wants it, I can just message me, but it was somebody, it might've been the same author, but it was a longer interview of this author who has a book about NFL spying. So anywho, I just want to, speaking of, so then I'm like, okay, so what is Mike McCarthy doing in Green Bay now? Right. He's been in Green Bay. Speaking to Mason Crosby, he had Mike McCarthy on the week of the Steelers game. I don't know if you caught that one, but Mike said he's been living back home in Green Bay for 6 months, and he's been going to some of the games. He went. I was curious who invited McCarthy to that Steelers game. And Mason, to his credit, pointedly asked him, and he wouldn't dish. He's like, I had ski family and this and that. But it was said on the NFL broadcast that he was invited. So I don't know. So I was like, I don't know if I'd want an ex-coach lurking around.
Yeah.
But anyway, teams can, anybody can watch the game. So, and then just, also was really delightful to listen to Ejiro Evero. Yes. Yep, he's a defensive
Panthers
for the upcoming game. DC defensive coordinator for the Panthers in the upcoming game tomorrow. And he had some really lovely comments about Green Bay. I like him so much.
I like him a lot.
Yeah, I didn't want to lose him, but he said he really enjoyed living in Green Bay. It was so lovely. He had some funny story about, because he's from Southern California, about driving in his first blizzard.
Oh my gosh. That's incredible.
And then he also said, he was like, they had this home that was like out it wasn't in the city at all. It was about 15 minutes from Lambeau, but it was, I forgot how he described it, but it was more rural.
Gotcha.
And it's like, why am I hearing gunshots? Like,
oh, what a sweetheart.
It was, yeah. And then he said one day he came out to go to work or whatever, and he sees this guy pulling out a deer from the woods. Yeah. He's like, yeah, I'm never going to go walking in the woods. But,
little cutie. He didn't know that all the hunting that was probably happening right behind his house.
Well, I wouldn't know either. I mean, when I lived in Wisconsin, when I grew up, it was a city. I'm a city girl. Yeah. And to this day, Racine.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Right between Milwaukee and Chicago, there on the lake. And yep. And so it was just really cute hearing him. I wish we could have him back. I like him. I hope he doesn't do well this week, but
I know. Well, it was funny because like when we were doing our DC search, obviously I love Halfley, and I'm just thrilled that we got him, but I really wanted Evero to be the DC, but it all worked out. So
yeah. Yeah, it all worked out. Well, hey, so and by the way, I want to say you've been a guest on our show before, and I
Yeah.
forgot to go over this with you. I was like, I keep forgetting to ask her this, and I just have had a busy week, but I didn't interview you as a guest because we've had you as a guest. We know your history a little bit about how you became a Packer fan, but if you can just remind our viewers, and I think I might link to
Yeah.
your previous appearance on our show, but remind our viewers who you write for and why you became a Packer, your origin story with the Packers, because you don't live in Wisconsin, do you?
No. So I
Mhm.
live in Virginia. I've lived here since I was 7. I was born in Florida. So yeah, everyone's like, why the Packers? Like, it doesn't make sense off the bat. So my parents were both born and raised in right outside of Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, in Lamira, not super far from Racine. And I have a large family. Both have like double-digit siblings, and so I have tons of aunts, uncles, cousins. So they're all pretty much still up there. And my parents being from Wisconsin, of course, big Packers fans.
Mhm.
My parents are both like massive sports nuts, just pretty
Mhm.
much all sports.
Mhm.
Um, and so at a certain point, like as a younger girl, I wasn't super into it, but at a certain point, I kind of saw like they would have people over every Sunday or for games and stuff. And I was like, this is kind of like, it's kind of contagious. It's really
Yeah.
fun. And then and then I had a lot of guy friends growing up because I'm such like a tomboy
Mhm.
and I don't like girl drama and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, and I started playing fantasy football right at when the Packers kind of like love started. So that all converged. And then I just realized how much I loved it. And then I was like, I want to go to college to be like the next Aaron Andrews. So I did like communications,
Yeah.
college, and then realized like, maybe that's not going to be my career. But yeah.
I think you'd be great at it. We need more of
I would love that.
yeah.
Time's a ticking now, but that's okay. But I do
Mhm.
write on the side. So I really, really love writing.
Yeah.
So that's why this is my fourth, it's either third or fourth. I should know that. You're contributing to Draft Countdown.
Yeah.
And they've been around since like the late 90s.
Mm.
And it started off, of course, following the draft, prospecting thousands of players every year. I don't know how they do it, but they
Right.
kind of expanded a few years ago because they wanted to bridge that gap of like they do so much prospecting, so many mock drafts and draft previews and all this stuff. And then there's really no follow up of like how any of these players do in the NFL. So
Oh,
they were looking for like an NFL person. And I was
yeah.
like, hi, pick me. Like I'm an
Yeah.
NFL nut. This is perfect. And so it's just been really fun. And they let me, Brian Bosarge, who's the manager of the site, he's like, write whatever comes to your mind. He lets me do fun pieces. We're all like, my next one is mid-season check-in for like all NFL teams via music. So I'm going to pick a song that kind of explains like where each team kind of is at this
Oh,
moment.
I love that. Is that
Yeah.
coming out next week?
So it's either next week or the week after, and I'm going to split it up into NFC. Sure. Okay. Yeah, you can.
Mhm.
I'm splitting it up like AFC, NFC, but it's super fun
Cool.
to like,
Oh, I can't wait.
yeah. So I'll be in my car and I'm like a crazy person. I have an XM. So a song will come on and I listen to like all types of music. So I'll randomly
Mhm.
be like, oh, this one's real like perfect for the
Mhm.
Carolina Panthers. And I'll send myself a voice note. I'm
Yeah.
like,
I love that. Oh
anyways,
my
yeah,
gosh.
it's super fun.
Well, Matt is a music lover. I'm super
Yes.
eclectic. I'm gonna look out for that, and I'm gonna send you
I love it.
the short that I sent Matt. I
Yes,
think I sent it
please.
yesterday.
The
Yeah,
Jordan Love
the
one.
Jordan Love. Yes, just for fun, just for
I
fun.
would love that.
Oh, we'll keep an eye out for that. For
Okay.
sure, for sure, for sure. Well, I love that. Well, any final thoughts before we bring her home today? It's
I know.
daytime, right?
I know you're used to night, right? No, I feel very similar to how you felt in the game last week. I feel really calm
Good.
going into tomorrow. I love a 1 o'clock game because I'm on the East Coast and I am not good at late nights. So I'm like,
Okay.
winter socks are ideal. I can have a couple of beers and
Mhm.
it's my joyous day. Like Sundays, I live my whole week for Sunday. For Packers football.
I
I
know.
have to go out and watch it, as I often do, because it's not televised here, but that's okay.
Right,
Gets
right.
me out of my house, and
Yeah.
I think it'll be I think it'll be a good game.
Is there a Packers bar by you where you go or?
It's not. They do have one. It's across town. It's not in like my favorite part of town.
Yeah.
So I don't go to that, but oddly enough, the two places that I go around here, there is a nice little following of Packers fans.
Oh, good.
That's cool. Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Mhm.
We have, believe it or not, like there's this place on PCH, Pacific Coast
Oh,
Highway here. Okay. And I mean, I could walk to it. It's maybe 3 miles, but
what?
yeah, we have a little coaster train that goes along the coast too. So I
What?
can
That's
pop on
so
the train. It's
cool.
called Roxy's. It's been there for 50 years. It's been there as long as I have. I didn't even know it was a Packer bar
It's a
until
Packers bar?
they're Packer fans. So they
Oh,
have every game. They have a million different screens. They have Packers night. It's
wow,
just
that's sweet. Is that
yeah.
where you go for most of the games?
Well, I don't now. I just have YouTube TV in the Sunday.
Gotcha. Yeah. Oh, you have the Sunday ticket. Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
because I've been having so many health problems and stuff, and it's
Oh,
like going out and I catch
I
things.
know.
I have a
Yep.
immune problem, and so I catch
Oh, you don't want to be around like
too
germy
many.
people.
Even though there's like indoor, outdoor, but I can go
Yeah,
there and I can meet friends. It's fun to
that's
have that
great.
option, but it's just
Yeah.
kind of like on the Pacific Ocean, on PCH. Here is a Packer, it's a Packer following, and then
I
there's another
get
really
it.
good one downtown San Diego too. But I don't go to that one very.
Wow.
I went there once. Yeah.
That makes my B-dub trips like seem boring.
Oh, it's just so great, and of course they do all the California stuff, but they also do like the Packers night. But you can order off of their menu and do all the crazy, over the top drinks and foods and
Yeah.
yeah, menu and stuff. But yeah, it's called Roxy's, and
Cute.
they've it's kind of like, well, they kind of revamped a little of about I don't know, maybe a decade ago. But when I used to go there, I would eat. They had like an artichoke sandwich. They had Greek
Ooh,
food, yeah, and then they had their own little ice cream parlor type thing.
gosh.
And but now it's like Art Deco themed, which is my favorite period.
So fun. Yeah.
But it's still beachy. Like it's just yeah, you gotta experience to appreciate it. But it's
Yeah.
just crazy that there's a Packers bar where I
How
am in
close
Southern
to you.
California.
That's so
I
cool.
know, it's crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I keep thinking every Sunday, it's like, I should go there. Or like if there's Monday night football or what, we have a Monday
Mhm.
night coming up, don't we?
We do on the 10th, we play the Eagles. Speaking
Oh,
of.
that's right. That's right.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that
It'd
could
be
be
fun to go out for that one.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't love the noon games for Central Time because that's 10 AM for me, and it's like
I
I'm
was
there.
gonna say that is early
It's
for
so
you.
early, most of the games. But but I watch all the games. I mean, I watch as many games as I can, and then with Sunday
Absolutely.
Ticket, you can watch it later if you're busy, and yeah, it's great.
I
So
think I need to invest in that next year.
it's an investment. This year, they're allowing you to just do it for like the period of time you can cancel. It's not, you don't have
Mm,
to buy it for the whole year. They're getting a little
like
more
prorate it.
open. Yeah, I had it before and it was like, this is so expensive.
I had it years ago too. When I first had my daughter, I think I bought it the first like 2 years she was born.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
I can't leave, but yeah.
Right. Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's bring her home. It was just great to see you. And
You
we can find
too.
you at Murda She Wrote, right?
Yes, and it's so I'm only on Blue Sky these days, but
Same here.
it's Murda She Wrote dot draft countdown dot b sky, I guess. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
And that's at
It's
MURD. Oh,
MIRDA.
is it MIR?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're
I
good.
don't I wrote MU. Okay, good. I'm glad you
You're
told me
good.
that. MIRDA
I should have wrote it in my name.
SHEWROTE. No, that's my
Yep.
job.
Dot draft countdown dot
Blue
b
Sky.
sky. Yep.
I love it. Or look you up on Blue Sky, and they have like an about section for all the writers, right? You can
Yes.
look up Miranda. I did that.
Yes.
There's
Yes.
so Completely. Yeah, they're really cute. They're really cute. All right. Well, with that, friends, we'd love to also have a chance to interview you and shout you out if you're a subscriber or a football fan. And if you'd like to nominate someone to be a guest on our podcast, please let us know. Our DMs are open on all the socials. And folks, when you subscribe to our podcast, you help us keep spreading the love in our community. And the best way to help this podcast grow is by sharing it with your friends and family. And this is my part. We're doing both of our parts.
I know, that's weird.
That's right, because we love you. We're so glad to know you, to be fans of you, and have the luxury of being fans of the most storied team in the NFL. We appreciate your support, your subscriptions, and sharing our pod. And we look forward to seeing you next week on Hey, We Like Your Pod.
Football in general comes down to discipline and people owning their roles. And when you aren't disciplined or you go outside the scheme, bad stuff happens.